Hello and welcome to the Connect Cape Fear podcast, where locals, newcomers, and travelers in and around Wilmington, North Carolina find community and connection in this beautiful place that we call home. I know that I say I'm excited about our guests every single week, but I'm really excited about our guests this week because Andrew Nettleman, the president of the Azalea Fest, and Allison Baringer, the executive director of the Azalea Fest, are our guests today. And I'm pumped about this year's Azalea Fest. Stick with us for the next couple minutes and I'll tell you why, because I know you're all wanting to know why I'm so pumped about this year's Azalea Fest. But Andrew, good morning. How are you today?
Great, man. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Allison, good morning too as well.
Good morning.
Allison, let's start with you.
Yes.
How long have you been in Wilmington for?
Since 2000.
Okay.
I'm from Ohio, came down to go to UNCW, go Seahawks, and graduated in 2004 and started with the festival right after.
Everybody that goes to UNCW just stays, right?
Why would you leave?
A lot of people from Ohio come here too as well. A big Ohioan?
Ohioan?
Ohioan? I don't know how to, yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Andrew, how about yourself? When did you come down here?
I basically grew up here, spent a couple years in upstate New York in high school, but grew up my childhood here and then moved back after college and law school.
Yeah, you were telling me you were 5 or 6 when you started working for Azalea Fest?
My mom was a volunteer at the Azalea Festival when I was a little kid, 5 or 6 years old. We were out picking up trash after the parade and cleaning up, that sort of thing.
Let's start with, what was it like 25 years ago, 30 years ago?
A lot smaller.
Yeah.
A lot quieter. Funny story, now we've got the garden party and that's like the hottest ticket in Wilmington.
Yeah. A lot of people get excited about that.
When I was a kid, it wasn't that way. My dad worked for Corning and they were a sponsor. They got tickets. Nobody would go. So we've got pictures of like my sister and I at 6 and 4 at the garden party, which we don't do today, but just because nobody else took the tickets. So it's come a long way.
That's funny. The people in Wilmington are like, I'm not going to go to Early again. Like, I was just there last weekend. There's nothing else to do here. I love it. So what has the growth been like since then? Because this is an event that has progressively gotten bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Small setback in COVID, but we're back on the right track now again. So what's that been like?
Well, this is our 77th festival.
Wow.
So back in the day, originally the festival started as kind of an economic engine for the area. There was no, what's the word I'm thinking of? There was no, what's the business? Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
So back in the day, there was no Chamber of Commerce. The festival was started by a group of businessmen as a way to be an economic engine for the region. I think the second or third year they added the Scholarship Pageant, which we still have today. And so over the years, we've grown, added more and more events. And it's gone from just kind of this small little day and a half little festival to now we're up to pretty close to a week of events. And not just that, we've got events in the months leading up to it. We've just decided we're going to start doing a golf tournament again. Cool. Back in the 70s and 60s, there was actually a PGA Tour event that was associated with the Azalea Festival, the Azalea Open. Arnold Palmer won that one year. And so we've gotten away from golf. We obviously aren't going to have PGA Tour players come back, but kind of leaning into the traditions of the Azalea Festival.
I can see the merchandise in my head right now. There's some kind of Masters, Azalea sort of correlation there. We'll sketch out some ideas.
Let's do it.
Free for you. That's my gift to the Azalea Fest this year, is how we can make some sick golf merch on it.
Awesome.
So, Allison, you said you started with the Azalea Festival year after you got out of college, 2004?
Yes.
So it's been your only profession?
It has.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unique and interesting in and of itself. How did you get started?
So when I was in college, I worked at a local dance company and just part-time college job, and was getting ready to graduate, was obviously looking for jobs. And a mom of 2 of the dancers there said, well, our office manager at the festival is getting ready to kind of sunset her career. You should apply. And I did, and haven't been able to leave yet. So.
And you're not going to.
Yeah, off camera, Andrew said that if anything should ever happen to Allison, the festival will still go on okay, but there's a small chance that you might haunt it with your presence. And just, something small won't work, and it'll cause this huge disruption in the chain of events that everybody will have to scramble for in the last minute. Allison, what's your favorite thing about Azalea Festival?
Oh gosh, there's so many things. Really, we have what we call a festival family, right? And it's all of our volunteers and sponsors and partners. Really, it's just a beautiful thing that the whole community comes together. And we pick up the phone and make a call that we need something, and there's 5 people ready to answer that call. And so that to me is super special. Especially, I'm from Ohio, which is a wonderful place to live as well, but just being able to see that community and see how amped people are and how proud they are to make it the best event every year.
The things that people don't see, the general public see, is everything that you just talked about. All the logistics that go on behind the scenes. And for any good festival, nobody will ever see that, right? But there is real stress and turmoil that's
100%.
happening when those things, when the lights go on, right? And the curtains open. And you can't do it without a good group of volunteers. And I'm assuming most of them come from right here in the local community, right?
Absolutely. We have about 150 leaders, we call chairs and co-chairs, who over every single event or program kind of take that on as their baby and then work with the board and festival staff and our sponsors to make the event bigger and better every year. And those people we meet with starting in the summer, and then we start having bi-weekly meetings in January. So they give up a lot of time. It's a volunteer position for them, and you just really feel the heart that they have for it.
Yeah. That's I think that's what makes our town very, very special, in a lot of ways. It's like we have, something that was started for an economic reason, then sort of took on this own life of its own, and then it creates a culture and a reason for people to come together and gather, but more importantly, like a lot of people just giving their time, talent, and treasure because they love the place that they live in and they want other people to experience it. I think that's just such a beautiful undertone.
Well, we have in total over 1,000 volunteers during the festival, and the festival couldn't happen without them. And like I said a minute ago, I've been doing this my whole life, so some of these people I've known for 40 years, and they're out there 65, 70 years old, and it's cold and rainy before a concert, and they're out there checking everybody's ticket and putting on wristbands and checking IDs. And so it's it's the people like that if we didn't have them, we just couldn't make this happen.
Andrew, talk a little bit, since you've seen it for so long, like downtown Wilmington has evolved considerably in the amount of time that you've been involved with the Azalea Festival. Totally different now than it was 10 years ago versus 40 years ago. A lot more opportunity, I think, with the pavilion and the river walk. It just like a lot of the stuff that's been put there to sort of elevate the I guess I'd say production value maybe of Azalea Festival. What do people not know about that?
Well, I think it starts with the fact that, when I was a kid living here, you didn't go downtown, right? It was not really a safe place to be, especially after dark. You didn't go down there. And that's totally changed, in the last 40 years for sure, to now downtown is a place where businesses are thriving and people go downtown after work and get dinner and all those sorts of things. So that's a major part of it. Over the years, we've done this concert series. We started at Trask Coliseum at UNCW, then kind of outgrew that. And then for years, we were building our own stage in the parking lot at Cape Fear Community College downtown. And that is just such a massive undertaking, and you're so susceptible to weather when you've got a stage that you basically crank up off the ground. So now that we have the amphitheater and a set permanent venue, it makes our life a lot easier for sure. And now we're not having to figure out catering every year. We're not having to figure out how are we going to get bathrooms brought in for all these people and that sort of thing. Now we're still doing all that stuff for other events, but for the downtown part of Wilmington, just the infrastructure and everything has changed so much in that amount of time.
It makes it a better event overall, for sure.
Definitely.
Allison, how involved are you with booking the bands?
Very. Yep. So the board of directors and myself, we have an agent that we work with, and sometimes the board has suggestions for artists, so we take those back to the agent, or the agent will say, here's who's playing and available in April, and we kind of go from there.
Who suggested T-Pain?
That one actually came from our agent, I think.
Really?
So,
yeah.
Good job, agent. Good job, agent.
Yes.
That's so fun. We've never, have you had an act like T-Pain in the past before? I know we've had like Sublime with Rome and Avett Brothers, like a lot of good national acts, but I don't ever really remember
like Snoop Dogg,
Okay.
Nelly.
Okay.
Ice Cube.
Ludacris.
Okay.
Ludacris.
Like that. Yeah.
I went to a house party at Ludacris's house when we was in Atlanta.
That was
yeah,
crazy.
it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
My
T-Pain?
wife worked with him at Nopi, which was like an auto festival thing, and he wasn't one of those real high maintenance people, but he wanted a bowl of red gummy bears was the thing that Jenna remembered him requesting was red gummy bears.
There's some interesting stuff in riders
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
I think some of them they put in there just to make sure you actually read the
Yeah,
rider.
yeah,
You know,
right, yeah, it's
like
more
I only want blue M&Ms.
Yeah.
You know, but for the most part, the artists that we've had have
Yeah.
been pretty easy.
Yeah.
They haven't had any sort of crazy rider requests.
Yeah.
But
I like, one, I love Chase Rice too. That's also a fantastic get. T-Pain is really kind of doing this sort of evolution in his
Yeah.
career right now. I don't know if
Really?
you've seen some of his lounge music.
Yeah.
Like, is that what we're going to expect from his stage
I would
show, or do you not
imagine
know?
so, yeah. He kind of was a sleeper, right? Like the agent suggested it, and we've, been trying to make sure we diversify our lineup. And so, we kind of went forward with it. And I don't want to say we had low expectations, but we just thought it was going to be, like a normal show, but it is blowing it out of the water.
Yeah.
Like people are
Our
amped.
sales up, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
now he's singing
Yes.
Tennessee Whiskey on
Yeah,
Instagram.
I know, it was
you know?
good,
Yeah,
too.
it was
Yeah.
great.
So good.
The auto-tune king
Yeah.
can sing.
Oh,
it
when
turns out.
when we were growing up, right?
Yeah.
I remember T-Pain and Akon. They were the
Yeah.
first two with auto-tune,
Yeah.
and it was like, I like this music.
Mhm.
And then T-Pain got some criticism that he couldn't sing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then that all went away real quick when he was like, well, let me show you
Yeah.
that I actually can
The Masked
sing.
Singer.
Yeah,
Won
yeah,
that
the Masked
first.
Singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, such a
Yeah.
good get. One of my closest friends is from Tallahassee. Went to high school with T-Pain, so I've like followed the guy's career from
Yeah.
like playing the college bar scenes up until like huge #1 recording
Right.
artist.
Yeah.
And so I'm super excited to see him come to Wilmington.
Yeah.
Selfishly, I'm really excited that he's coming.
It's going to be a great show.
Yeah. So what should people know about this year's Azalea Fest? In the lead up of this year's event.
So, we obviously have our traditions. We've been around for 77 years. The parade, street fair are going to be phenomenal. But we're constantly looking to add new events to kind of diversify our lineup, bring in new people to the festival family. So this year, we've been working on a lot. We have a fireworks viewing party on the Battleship.
Nice.
Called Battleship Boom and Bloom
Nice.
Fireworks Bonanza. So gonna have a big party up there Saturday night to view the fireworks. Tickets for that are on sale. Brand new event in partnership with the Battleship North Carolina. We also, as Drew mentioned, in October are starting a golf tournament. And in June, we're starting a volleyball and cornhole tournament over at Capt'n Bill's. So we're just getting some publicity out for that. So just continually looking to add new things. We're starting a pet photo contest.
Cool.
Where you can enter your dog, cat,
I
your
love
iguana,
that. Yeah.
whatever you consider
I'm gonna
a
submit
pet.
my chicken. I'll show
Do
you.
it.
I'll
Please
show you
do.
this
Do it.
photo.
Love that.
I've
We
been
would love
thinking
that.
about doing because I'm up in Castle Hayne, but like just in Castle Hayne,
Yeah.
more like Wrightsboro, and the Albers who we were looking at earlier from the Ocean Fest. Like, there's a lot of people like me that are up there that are going to that area, and I want
Yeah.
to do like the Men of Castle Hayne calendar, and it's
This
just
could be your
us with
start.
livestock or sitting on
Yeah,
a
I love it.
compost or something.
I love it. This could be your start.
Yeah,
And if the chicken wins, you get a spot in the parade,
you
right?
do. You do. 100%.
that's incentive.
Yeah.
That's
And
incentive
Oh, yeah.
right there.
And a good thing about that program is 50% of the proceeds go back to Pause for People.
Okay. Yeah,
So we
great
love
nonprofit.
partnering
Yeah,
with
we've worked with
nonprofits to help support their missions as
Yeah,
well.
so good. So golf tournament in October, that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Can you preview people what that's going to look like?
Sure, it's going to be at River Landing.
Okay.
It's going to be kind of your classic scramble format, and your entry is going to get you some drink tickets and food and all the kind of the standard
Yep.
scramble format golf tournament stuff. So it's not during traditional festival season, but River Landing is one of the best golf
Great
courses
track.
in the area,
Yeah.
and it's tough to get on there, and we were able to make it happen. So we're really excited about
October's
that.
a good time of year to play
Yeah.
it too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's at the end of season,
Right.
but it's
not
still cooler
150
temperatures.
degrees,
Yeah.
but the course is still in great shape. So I
Yeah.
think it'll be really great.
Fun golf course,
Mm-hmm.
very fun golf course. The Battleship idea is brilliant. I'm
Yes.
glad that so they finished their touch-ups that they were
They're
doing on the
working
Battleship
it.
yet.
They're
Okay.
still working on things, yeah. But we've been wanting to do a fireworks viewing party for years.
Yeah.
We're a part of the International Festival and Events Association, so we go to conferences, meet all sorts of folks. We have friends at the Detroit Thanksgiving Parade, and they have a huge 4th of July fireworks viewing party that does really well for them. So we've been trying to do something. We just haven't been able to secure a great location that we
Yeah.
felt good about. And
That's
so
prime.
the Battleship came to us and really wanted to get more involved. And so we kind of concocted this plan and tickets are selling well, and we're really excited to have that as an opportunity. And it's parking, right? People get to park there, so they don't have to worry about the downtown traffic if that's a concern.
Come across the bridge.
Right.
If you're
Don't worry about the bridge.
It'll be open. Festival
Andrew
week.
put in a call. That's good when you got that kind of chutzpah in town. You call the DOT.
We're just happy
I need
that
all lanes going into downtown.
We're just happy it's not going to be, bumper to bumper all weekend.
Yeah.
So we're also, speaking of the Battleship, going to do our coronation for our queen there this year. So really excited about that. The Battleship is a great resource and a great bit of history for Wilmington and for North Carolina. So being able to use it more, I think, is really something we wanted to do, and we've been working to figure out how to do that.
I have, for over the last couple of years, I have so wanted to do an event at the Battleship and talk to friends of the Battleship a bunch of times. It was like, no, it's not the right time. It's not the right time. It's not the right time. So seeing something happening over there warms my little veteran heart. And because, it's such a unique thing to have that kind of history. Not a lot of people know this. The North Carolina was the first ship back into port at Pearl Harbor after the attack on December 7th. So it has a lot of relevance to our state and to our community, but also globally too as well. Seeing them get support just makes me really, really happy.
Absolutely.
So go buy tickets and go watch fireworks on the Battleship.
And they've got some new people working over there and have become a great partner in ours. And so we're really excited about it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Anything else that people need to know about Azalea Fest? We haven't even talked about Chase Rice, who's a really, really fantastic country musician. Billions of downloads. People are really excited about that. He's playing at the Pavilion too, right?
Yeah.
So both him and T-Pain are going to be at the Pavilion.
Yeah, we got one Thursday night and one Friday night.
Okay.
So the other thing I would say is that, Allison kind of talked about the new events, but we've got some historical events like the pageant I mentioned. That's a scholarship pageant for local high schoolers. We're the largest. We give the most money of any pageant in the state for scholarship purposes other than Miss North Carolina. Okay. So, that is something that used to be really big when pageants were really big in the 60s and 70s. It has gotten smaller over the years, but we're super excited that has kind of started growing again. We had 15 or 16 last year, something like that, and we've got 25 this year. So, we're going to give away thousands of dollars here next month, and we're going to crown a princess, and then she goes out and represents all of Wilmington, all over the state and the region at other festivals and events.
What's old becomes new again, right? So you'll see it come back up. So those that benefited from it with a smaller competition pool, you're going to run out of that. So get in right now because it'll keep getting bigger.
Well, and what's really special about our program that I think a lot of people don't realize is it's actually a leadership training program. It's not just you come to the pageant that night, do your best, and that's it. These girls have to, they meet every Sunday, January through March, to learn public speaking, interview skills, public presentation skills. So they really learn how to, be a proper young lady in society and life stuff. Interview skills. I mean, everyone.
Job interviews, all those sorts of things.
Yeah, being a professional communicator myself, I have never not benefited from being able to communicate better,
right? Yes.
And not working on being a better communicator. Yes. So that's just like if you want to do some more in life, learn how to speak better.
Well, it's a skill,
and
so you got to practice it, And so even before the round of interviews that count for the pageant, we bring in people in advance to do mock rounds of interviews so that they get the practice and anything you practice you feel more comfortable doing.
Any events that are getting close to selling out that we need to be like, hey, jump on it right now? What's getting tight on tickets? If people see this and they're like, ooh, I want to do that, what should they jump on?
The fashion show, which is beginning of March, so I don't know if that applies.
It might be past.
Yes. Gosh, I can't think of anything. I mean, like we mentioned earlier, T-Pain tickets are going hot. I mean, we're almost halfway sold out already, and we're 2 months out. Okay. So, in Wilmington, historically is a late seller. Like they wait until the last week.
I'll grab it the day before.
But they might not be able to in this case. So if you want to see T-Pain, definitely get those tickets. Same with Chase Rice. Chase Rice is actually in the festival's history since I've been a part of it, so almost 20 years, is our #1 selling artist of all times.
Wow.
And I kid you not, we were terrified like a month out because tickets were not selling. We were like trying to like give tickets away. We were like, we need to get people, you know, here at the concert. And then the last 9 days of ticket sales skyrocketed.
Really?
And sold out. So same thing with him. I mean, if you want to go to either one of these shows, I think you need to.
Is there going to be like
tickets.
a private, like, you know, like a little VIP meet and greet, or like we did? Shuck and Shack did something when Iration was here. They had like a little, you know, just like lounge party there with Iration that I thought was super cool. Is there going to be anything like that? A little bit more intimate setting with any of these
I think
artists?
COVID has kind of stopped a lot of the meet and greet stuff. We do have VIP areas at the concerts, and you know, there's tiered ticket packages just like there would be for any show. Our major sponsors have their own VIP area as well, but in terms of meet and greets and stuff, I think COVID has kind of killed. I think they were probably looking for an excuse to stop a lot of that, and then COVID was kind of the final.
I'm selfishly,
nail in the coffin.
They just saw an opportunity. Right? I'm very selfishly trying to find a way for us to encourage a T-Pain after party somewhere.
That would be cool.
Like KGB or you know, whatever.
You know, she talked about T-Pain. We look at our social media reach numbers from just the posts that we've made, and he is literally 10 times any other posts that we've made. So the T-Pain show, we really do think is going to be massive.
The only man who could rhyme mansion with Wisconsin is coming to Wilmington, North Carolina for this year's Azalea
Absolutely.
Fest. Andrew, Allison, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate everything that y'all do. I know it's hard work being involved in smaller scale events like this. There's a lot that goes into it. So appreciate your stamina, appreciate your hearts, and your willingness to pour into something that's super important to Wilmington, North Carolina.
Of course, and thank you for having us.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. That's going to do it for this episode of the Connect Cape Fear podcast. Go out, get your Azalea Fest tickets, and we'll see you in downtown, Airlie Gardens, any other places where these events take place. Right down the street from here. Why am I blanking on it?
Greenfield Lake?
Greenfield Lake Amphitheater. Lots of great stuff going on around the town of Wilmington, and it's going to be April 3rd through 7th is the Azalea Festival weekend. Right. So go get your tickets, Allison. What's the website?
ncazaleafestival.org.
ncazaleafestival.org. And until next time, go out and enjoy this beautiful place that we call home, and we will talk to you on the next episode of the Connect Cape Fear podcast. Thank you.
See you there.